What's up sa inyo mga Geekers? May audio na tayo! Woo! Kaso wala rin silang audio. Teka lang. Isa pa. Huwag nga kayo mag-mute para may audio. Okay, what's up sa inyo mga Geekers? Palakpakan naman dyan! After 3 attempts, welcome to hashtag Eat Sleep Breathe Football Podcast. Kasama ang yours truly, Tito J, pang titong football vlogger, Glenn of the 6-Yard Box, Burgers and Sports, Ken of Huddle PH. Itong dalawang to, mga bataan natin sa Huddle PH, Sir Aaron Bayato of Radyo Pilipinas 2, and of course, David Abella of the What's Up Show and the What's Up Football and Formula 1 Show. Ningal ako doon. Ningal ako kakatawa. Pasensya na po mga mamangikers kasi during the introductions, medyo nag-aaningan lang kami sa off-cam. So, off-cam, tawag doon, get together and whatnot. So, yun. Kamusta kayo dyan, mamangikers? Comment and share to the stream. Thank you so much for watching Chima Uzoka of ADT. Tama ba? ADT rin siya or Stallion? Tama ba? May sasagot pa sa akin, Kent? Nakamute kayong lahat, tuy. Kung sabi? ADT. Sabi niyo naman ako. Oh, ayan, ADT, alright. And welcome din natin dito syempre si Saya Haruda of Sayagraphics. Saya Avengers. Ito, Saya Avengers. Welcome. Via audio lang si Saya dahil nasa church pa raw siya. Saya, how are you? Ay, hindi, nakamute.
Hello.
Ayan. Kamusta ka, Saya?
Goods na goods ako, Pops.
Ayan, alright. At dahil goods na goods siya, wala rito yung headset ko. Natanong kasi ako ng best friend ko yung headset ko. Nasa baba, boy. Kung yung headset sa baba. Anyway, so, ayun na nga. I think I know the reason why Saya Haruda is masaya. Alam niyo naman, over the last few weeks and days or whatever it is, we've been in a battle with him. Not only physically but also through every efforts that we have. You heard it here first. You heard it here from me first regarding the article about Saya, and just a quick update to our viewers. It's already settled. Okay, Global FC already settled their unpaid wages to Saya, so that's good job. I hope it susunod na dyan yung mga unpaid dues sa players so that they wouldn't have issues sa upcoming Philippines Football League season, brought to you by Qatar Airways. And also another news, United City FC already got their new crest. Just check their Facebook page. Congratulations to the winners or to the winner of the logo making contest. So para nga pala sa mga hindi nakapanood ng webinar kanina ng United City FC, they just clarified why they chose the name United City FC. It's just to keep it generic because they don't know yet where they're gonna play, because as of the moment, all teams are centralized here in Metro Manila. So as per Eric Goshok, one of the owners of United City FC, they will be checking where they're gonna play. They're not sure yet if they're gonna stay in Bacolod, if they're gonna move to the Metro or whatever it is. But nevertheless, good luck on your endeavor in the 2020 Philippines Football League. Congratulations as well, as United City FC secured the signing of the alpha male, the silverback gorilla himself, the one and only Stefan Schrock, who will be playing as the team captain for United City FC, and also using this opportunity as a gateway to his future career, which is coaching. He'll also be playing assistant coach for the said club. So congratulations once again, and I hope you have great success in the Philippines Football League. Not so great that you will defeat my beloved Kaya, but all for the best. That's it. I'm biased pa din. Anyway, those are the news that we have for you today. Make sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Para nagpapaalam na agad tayo. Alright, siguro let's just have a quick discussion regarding the news that we had for today. Let's start off with Sir Aaron. Aaron, you joined in the webinar earlier with the SPIA and United City FC. How was it? How did you find the webinar? How did Eric Gottschalk answer the questions, or your impressions on how they interacted with the people through that webinar?
First and foremost, good evening everyone. Today, salamat po ulit sa invitation. Sir Kent, Sir Glenn, and Sir David. Evening. Yung pong naging mga statements, first of all, ni PFF President Mariano Araneta was more of a assurance than sa mga fans na football will be back, and of course, giving credits din sa naging approval ng IATF. Ang first and foremost na siguro personally tinutukan ko kung may update na ba kung number one, kung kailan ang practice dahil okay na yung JAO. So, sinagot niya within this week or next week. So, it's sooner. Pero yung pagbabalik ng liga will be on September. Wala sa notes ko. But it's somewhere within September yung making opening ng 2020 Philippines Football League brought to you by Qatar Airways.
Yan.
So, yun yung magiging so expect in 2 months yung pag-resume ng league. As far as for United City, medyo bagamat neutral fan ako, but I do feel for the fans of Bacolod because ayun nga, given that for generic reasons, they're not yet sure kung if they will represent Bacolod. They may or they may not. The logo, I think, personally was fine. It's a look, and congratulations to the winner. Fine job. Ang isang bagay lang din na siguro nilinaw din ni Mr. Gottschalk is yung kanyang relation do sa isa niyang firm na hinahawakan, which is ang MNC Sports sa Global FC. It's, he clarified according to Mr. Eric is they already pulled out, but they just chose na iwanan na lang yung kumbaga parang whatever sponsor they had to that kit. So it's not na according to Mr. Gottschalk ay hindi na magkaroon ng additional charges sa pag-revise ng kanilang jersey. So nilinaw as yun din pag lastly na lang yung pag transfer din nung branding. I think sinabi din nila na they had agreement with Mr. Leo Jansson na hindi dadalhin yung branding or yung parang whatever branding they had with Ceres Negros FC. That's the reason why United City yung ginamit na generic brand. Of course, they if I recall correctly, today yung heritage at least kukunin, which is apparent with the signing of the majority of the players and coaches. So, like you, Tito J, hoping for all the best kay Mr. Ace Bright and all the best sa United City FC. And pagdating sa AFC Cup, of course, kinakansya pa yung mga communicate nila with AFC.
All right. Thank you so much for your thoughts, Sir Aaron. Let's go ahead over to Ken. Ken, ikaw naman, ano masasabi mo about this? Other than nilinaw na nila with regard to their role with United City FC, MMC Sports also cleared out their, let's say, their relation with Global FC. What are your thoughts about this?
First of all, good evening sa lahat ng mga nanonood. Good evening, Tito J, Sir Aaron, David, and Glenn. Una sa lahat, natutuwa ako kasi nagkakaroon na ng progress muna yung league. Sana makabalik na agad-agad. Hopefully. Everybody knows na na tayo eh. Oho na tayo sa local football actually.
Tigang na sa local football.
Regarding dun sa naging webinar, web conference kanina ng United City FC, yung ginawa nilang paglilinaw sa naging involvement ng MMC Sports sa Global FC dati, it was appreciated naman na nagbigay sila ng ganong explanation after pero there's some part of me na na hindi ko may tatanggi it's in my own opinion only, there's some parts na parang hindi ako kumbinsido, na parang gusto ko malaman yung further details on what really went down. Why did they choose to pull out and transfer their investment to another club? Pero syempre, let's leave it at that. Mukhang di na rin naman yata planong sagutin nila Mr. Gottschalk yung detalye. Pero with United City FC and the developments that Mr. Gottschalk has presented earlier, natutuwa ako sa pacing because we all know na many fans are looking forward to to their establishment dun sa mga magiging development sa kanila, especially when they sign Shrock, kasi yan malaking factor yan, especially yung magiging role ni Shrock, not only as a player but as an assistant coach as well, a
Yes.
playing coach. So sa ngayon, gaya ng sinabi nga ni Mr. Gottschalk, in the upcoming days malalaman natin yung magiging status ng mga players, kung sino man yung masasign. Pinakamasaya part para sa akin is the players and the staff and the coaches that will not lose their livelihood. At least, hindi sila mapapabayaan. And I hope na they will be compensated adequately. And syempre, kasi ang mayari naman dun kapag naging maayos ang lahat, di maayos din yung palakad ng club and it will contribute to a more smoother flow of the league.
All right. Thank you so much, Papi Kent, for those thoughts. Glenn of the 6-Yard Box, Burgers and Sports, and Huddle PH. Your thoughts? I don't think you were able to catch the webinar kasi busy ka kanina. But siguro, ito na lang. Your thoughts regarding Stefan Schrock playing as an assistant coach slash team captain for United City FC. How big of a role is this for the two-time Mr. Football awardee, and how do you think will he accomplish his newly found job?
Well, I think it's actually a good deal for him. Kasi let's admit it, he's already at an advanced age where he should no longer be just focused on his current career as a player, but he should also be looking towards what's behind his playing dates as well. Kasi talagang dumarating na tayo dun eh. But the good advantage that he has is because he's already worked with world-class coaches and managers. He does have this exposure that he can utilize when he is already doing his job as an assistant coach. So it's definitely a step moving forward. And I think yun talaga yung something that really sealed the deal for him, that assistant coaching role. Kasi it's for me, it's not just a sign that they are still interested in you as a player, but they want to invest in you as a part of Philippine football or as part of local football for the future as well. It's actually a sign of trust. Yun nga, we are confident that if we take you under our wing, we can groom you into a full-time coach after your playing career, and pretty much we can make use of you, or the Philippine football industry would be able to use his expertise. So yeah, I'm really hoping na yung mga natutunan niya from his previous coaches in Bundesliga 2 and Bundesliga would had still stuck in him, in the sense na kaya niyang i-imply or kaya niyang impose yung parehong plays, parehong know-hows with his new role as an assistant coach after his playing days.
All right. So, yun nga, it has been a huge news for United City FC, considering that hindi naman siguro lingid sa kaalaman ng lahat na there are many offers on the table for Stefan Schrock. There are offers in Germany. There were even offers in East Asia, specifically in South Korea, and also our neighbors out here. And siguro it's a good thing for the Filipino football fans that Stefan Schrock will still be playing at the same time, be a coach here in the Philippines Football League. Now, dako tayo kay David. David, you remember our podcast last time regarding our discussion dito sa United City FC, and I think we came out with 3 things that United City FC needs to do in order to get the trust of their supporters and the entire Philippine football community. They were able to achieve one, which is signing Stefan Schrock. They're in the works of getting Risto, and I just forgot the third one. Can you fill us in? And how do you think would this work out for United City FC?
I think the third one was Bienve, Mr. Marañon. I also got the moment to also watch the webinar a while ago, not the full one, but I was still able to catch it. Ang ano ko lang is I share the same concerns as Sir Aaron, which regards to the fans of Bacolod, because the heritage or the legacy of Ceres Negros FC will always be there. And it also, I'm a neutral fan, but I also care about our Filipino football fans. Obviously, that's why we have this platform in the first place. That uh, you know, Bacolod without a football club is basically not having a heart, because Ceres Negros FC, we all know that was the heart of Bacolod, and it was a very fundamental part of the city. And since they announced that UCFC won't be based on Bacolod, since it has a very generic name, it kind of, how do you say, kind of stings for most fans. And concern ko lang is for all the Bacolod fans. But for the rest, from what I've heard, is that they had their own agenda. They weren't able to answer some very specific and interesting questions. But what can we do? Ganyan man talaga. And ang ano ko lang is at least it was just a simple webinar. It was just a simple introduction and all. Ang worry ko lang is they might get too ahead of themselves, in my opinion. But for the rest, ano ko lang, it's good to have another team in the PFL, and I wish them luck.
All right, thank you so much. Lastly, before we head into our short break for today, I just want to greet all of our viewers, especially to Clara Manzano. Claro, how are you? Shout out to you, sir. I just want to get this one, and I want this to be one of the things that we would like to discuss before we head into a break. Jonathan Bitia said, "Hello, Tito J, at sa lahat ng poging commentator sa podcast na to." Wow! Pogi daw kayong lahat to. Niniwala ba kayo doon?
Pogi post nga dyan.
Pogi.
We know.
Pogi pose in 3, 2, 1.
Oh, one.
Naka.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. So, ayan, any updates sa mga possible clubs na sasali this coming season of the PFL? Baka meron kayong info dyan, paki-share naman. Thanks and more power. First and foremost, Jonathan, we are still looking for that new team na nabanggit sa atin ni Sir Coco Torre during the previous press conference and all. However, there are rumors. I don't think it's something na pwede nating patulan or hindi natin pwedeng patulan, but sige, for the benefit of something to talk about, patulan natin. There was a tweet out there in Twitter by Kickoff PH, if I'm not mistaken, that a certain club will join the Philippines Football League. Will join the Philippines Football League and are willing to or looking for players to play for them for free. And I think there are players who are willing to do that, considering that playing in the Philippines Football League will be a huge addition to your resume, regardless if you're getting paid or not. One thing or one club that comes into mind, nakita rin natin siguro yung Instagram nila, was Maharlika FC. They've been interacting with fans on how to promote football, how to promote a football club, and how inclusive they're gonna be, whatever it is. But
Whoever they sign.
whoever they sign. So let's dissect this for a moment. No, medyo maganda siya pag-usapan. Let's start with David. How do you think this would work for Maharlika FC if they will be joining the Philippines Football League? And that they've shown intention to play in the Philippines Football League. However, the big catch there is that their players are not going to be paid. However, they're playing professionally. How do you think this would pan out for the Philippines Football League, especially for Maharlika FC, if they will really join the Philippines Football League?
Well, first of all, I mean, it's good to know that another team is willing to join the PFL, because sadly to say, we only have a few teams, but the more that adds, the merrier. So we should be glad about that. And the plot twist of that some all the players won't get paid. I think some of them would accept it, or majority would accept it, for the sake of getting exposure, for the sake of other clubs looking at them, that might say, "Oh, this guy can actually be good for my club, so maybe I might scout him for a while." So it's also good for exposure, and at the same time, it's also it increases more competitiveness in the league, and at the same time, putting some banter to it. Like you said, it creates a good qualification in your resume, and at the same time, maybe some messages might slide in your DMs, if you know what I mean. So that might that might also be the advantage of it, of playing for a PFL. But at the same time, with expertise of Anton Del Rosario regarding, or I don't know if that's confirmed, but allegedly. Ano ko lang is I'm just happy, and if the play, and then at least at least they
David, is it me or David just froze?
I think Sir David froze.
All right, that's what
Yeah.
that's what happens when you go to Italy and use their
Nastan.
service out there.
Nastan.
We're just gonna banter the internet in Italy as of the moment, but okay. David, you were saying that Anton or whatever it is, then suddenly your internet out there in Italy, which is kind of worse than what we have here in the Philippines, kicked in.
It's true. It's true. No, I'm just saying that at least they said in the initial, thing that if they're willing to play with no salary and all, instead of having to say, "Oh, we'll pay you," but in the end we won't pay you. So at least they said it first, and at least meron expectations. So yan lang.
All right, thank you. Mukhang may patutsada ng konti, but we'll just leave it as it is. Let's move over to Glenn of the 6 Yard Box Burgers and Sports. Papi, considering that the players might or might not get paid with this club, just for example, um, how do you think this will pan out for the Philippines Football League? Is it going to be a good thing, a bad thing, or will they be considered as a farm team in the Philippines Football League if they will really join?
Well, for starters, depends kasi on how they're going to define the word professional. Kasi for what I know, professional means that you're being paid to play. So if siguro yung maging agreement nila is we're gonna pay you, but it's not gonna be like as big as an average footballer salary. We're just gonna pay you something like for your time and effort to be here, but it's not necessarily what you'd say a salary. So I'm not really sure how it's gonna pan out because I'm looking at it, and by definition, if they were to get themselves as a professional setup, it means that the services of the players would have to be fairly compensated. If there are safeguards to make sure na yung investors ng isang club siguro would not be able to take full advantage of the lower clubs, baka meron ding financial rules na sinasabing hindi rin pwedeng hindi paid yung but it's up to the PFL because I did do some reading on the rules that they had for a PFL club. Parang it doesn't necessarily state na you cannot just get players to play for you for free, but that's up for interpretation. So we'll see what happens from there. But as far as the rest of the league, that could also turn into a precedent as well. That other clubs could seek services just for entry lang. They're going to seek services of players who are willing to play without pay para lang dumami-dami yung teams. That could be a good thing in a way, but that could also be a bad thing in a way in the sense that we need to professionalize this league na dapat maging sustainable income siya para sa mga footballers, and I'm really just hoping that it doesn't become a precedent na maging parang pagka-Sunday league na to or maging semi-professional ulit, because that would be a step backward rather than forward. But yeah, I'm just hoping this doesn't really affect the league in that manner.
All right. Thank you so much, Glenn. Now, Sir Aaron, as someone who just followed the league, let's say a couple years back or a couple years since today, what can you say about this? Is this going to be a healthy thing for the league, or is it something na we don't have to deal with? Ano masasabi mo dito?
Hi. I guess I have to agree with Sir Glenn that professional league per se, they have to be a sustainable league. So they should pay their players. Ayaw natin maging parang norm or manner yun ng mga iba't ibang koponan na may balak sumali sa isang professional league kagaya ng Philippines Football League. So sana hindi maging ganun yung proseso na gagawin itong league na yun. Other than that, I think I don't think that's very acceptable na ganun yung magiging pattern nila sa pagsali ng league. Personal opinion lang po dito.
And lastly, Ken, I know that you're aching to see your beloved club, Loyola Football Club, back in top flight Philippine football. What are your thoughts about this? I mean, if someone like Maharlika FC will go first than your club just because they said that it's fine that they play even if they're not getting paid. Ano masasabi mo rito, or what are your feelings about this?
Para sa akin mas mahalaga na dumami yung clubs natin eh. Even if your favorite club will not be there in right away. Ang mahalaga dito is yung overall welfare ng local league. Mas iisipin natin yon na kailangan mas dumami yung clubs natin para mas maraming opportunities for our local players to play against higher competition. Regarding sa paglalaro ng mga players allegedly for free, being a professional player constitutes two things para ma-consider na professional. Una, you have a contract, a written contract that is mutually approved between the player and the club. Pangalawa, you receive some form of compensation. Di natin alam whether there is a dictated or a set salary floor for compensating a player ngayon. I hope na maklaro yan sa atin soon, ng management, if ever na may mag-i-institute sila ng ganung rule, or baka kailangan may allowance or something. Pero it's all about rebuilding the club scene. We're in a time of a pandemic. Mas mag-i-invest ang mga businessman in growing, in regaining their losses kesa sa mag-invest on other things like sponsoring a football club. So sa ngayon ito yung ginagawa ng Maharlika FC with this move. Din siya parang it's a sacrifice as well. Parang wala, with what's happening with global, na uncertain pa sila about joining the league. Here comes this club na makukumpleto natin yung bilang na 6 na club, and for the league to proceed. Then I appreciate that na kahit free lang yung magiging sa kanilang player. Although maganda kung sana kung may contract, kahit ganon, mas at least may pagkasunduan lang. And masasabi ko lang ito yung mga initiative na na dapat ma-work on ng league. Kailangan mas maging open pa sila dun sa other clubs. Then tulungan nila i-build up slowly but surely in the long run. Kumbaga dati diba libre lang they're free or for a minimal amount lang. Hopefully makagawa ng mechanism yung league na attract the small clubs, the aspiring clubs, and then help them to be stable and sustainable in the long run until they become an integral part of the league.
All right. Thank you so much for your thoughts, gentlemen. Sadly, we had to say goodbye to our dear friend David Debelia, who needs to go to another family matter. But thank you so much for your thoughts. We're just good. We're just gonna go into a short break, at sa pagbabalik natin, kausapin na natin ang isa pang youngest prospect ng ating Philippines Football League, the ASCAL's development team player, or the Advanced Development Team player, which is Lance Ocampo. Yan, sa pagbabalik ng hashtag Eat, Sleep, Breathe Football Podcast. Welcome back to the show, mga pamangkikers. Time has come for us to talk to another young prospect of the Philippines Football League. We've talked to Harvey Giosa the last time, one of the players as well of the Ascal's development team. But this player that we're gonna introduce to you, he's no stranger to the top flight Philippines Football League, as he's already played in it, and now he's gonna be playing with his new club, the Ascal's Advanced Development Team. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Lance Ocampo. Lance, thank you so much for joining us today, and we're so honored to have you on the show. Kamusta ka ngayong gabi na to?
Okay naman po. And once again po, thank you din po for having me as a guest tonight.
All right, thank you. We've had an amazing time talking to Harvey Giosa the last time that he was on the show, and every time that we do have a youngster, someone who worked, sorry for the word, who worked their ass off just to get to where they are right now, it's simply amazing for us to hear. Wala nang pasubali. Lance, you had your or you started your football career as as someone who just attended a football clinic, if I'm not mistaken, sa ASCOM with the Philippine Army. And tell us how did your love affair with football started?
It all started because I was very hyper when I was a kid, and I didn't have anything to do at home. So my parents decided to, introduce me to football in ASCOM's football clinic. But I started to fall in love with football when I joined UM because of the competitiveness. Because that's when I really enjoyed playing football when you're competitive with other players.
All right, and as you've mentioned, you started to love football more when you have joined in the GOM Football Center of Excellence. You slowly polished your craft with GOM. How did you find the academy itself, and how huge was their impact into your football career?
They helped me a lot because they were really good at teaching us the principles of football, such as communicating with your teammates and the importance of keeping the ball, which is up until now very important in the top level.
So I think one of the things that Coach Hartman focuses on with your program out there in GOM is to make sure of keeping the possession and ball control as well.
Yes, because when you lose the ball, you're giving the opponent a chance to score, and if you played in the top level, it's very hard to get the ball back when you lose the ball.
And of course, Lance, hindi naman siguro lingid sa kaalaman mo na it's tough fighting with other players here in the country. You've also played abroad with your club. You've joined several football festivals overseas. However, how difficult is it, or how difficult do you find the competition here in the country amongst your fellow homegrown players, not only with GOM but also with other, let's say, other academies or clubs here in the Philippines?
It's hard because there's really a lot of talent, especially in the provinces, because they're really muscular and really work hard. Because most of them are aiming for scholarships. That's why they have this hunger that they want to be better than everyone. But for me, the people who stands out the most are probably my teammates, because before every competition, we always fight for a spot in the lineup. So even in training sessions, it's really competitive. And I believe there was this year, 2016, our first year for the Single Cup. I believe every single player in our squad was homegrown, and we were all fighting for our spot, and it was really hard.
Mm. All right. Yeah. As they always say, I mean, it's a cliche. In any sport, be it football or any other sport, your teammate is your biggest opponent or your biggest competitor. And certainly with GOM, they brought out the best in you, and now you are gonna be playing with the advanced development team in the upcoming Philippines Football League after or once everything goes back to let's say hindi na siguro normal, but once we enter into a new normal Philippine football. Before I head into the other questions that I have, I just want to share the floor with our panel right here. Ken, Go ahead, fire away. I know that you have seen this kid play in the YFL and other competitions where your beloved Loyola FC plays as well. Go ahead, fire your questions in.
Lance, siguro ano na lang din, for marami kasi din nag-aspire na maging katulad mo in the future. Ano yung ano yung mga importanteng adjustments na ginawa mo na from transitioning from youth football to professional football as a player?
Uh, Siguro yung biggest advantage ko is palagi ako nakikinig sa coach. Hindi ako nagsosolo. Kasi yung ibang mga players usually ayaw nila na sasabihin sila kung ano yung gagawin nila. So I think yeah, that's my biggest advantage because kahit sino coach ko, nakikinig lang ako sa kanila. Kasi at the end of the day, you should be following them kasi sila naman yung coach nila.
Nice.
All good ka na doon, Papikins. Alright. Okay, now let's head over to Sir Aaron Bayato of Radyo Pilipinas. Go ahead, Sir Aaron. Floor is yours.
Yes, thank you, Tito J. Sir Lance, that's a great insight about coach-player relationship. Two questions. First of all, with the league, kasi na-announce kasi ng IATF that they already had a JAO and you being a member of the ASOS development team, of course, coordinating with the Philippines Football League. How are you personally preparing para ma-i-implement nyo yung mga protocols na sinet ng team mo at ng Philippines Football League para makapag-resume kayo ng training? And eventually, kung mas matutupad yung plano ng PFF na makapagsimula by first week of September, how are you preparing yourself for the upcoming 2020 season?
At the moment, I have no information about the trainings, but I'm preparing myself by doing my individual works. And I've been doing my one-on-one coaching with one of my coaches, which is Coach Darren. So most of the time I've been working out or doing ball touches, and hopefully I can be better than when the lockdown started. I hope I can be better when I get back.
Final question na siguro, Lance. I'm not sure if you're also following various leagues, Europe. Any inspiration na parang sinusundan mo sa mga leagues like Bundesliga, La Liga, or Premier League or other leagues na kumbaga parang ina-apply mo to yourself, or you tend to do your own thing?
I always watch La Liga, especially specifically Barcelona, because the way they keep the ball, it's really good. So every time I watch their game, I usually watch my position, which is right wing or left wing. I watch them carefully on how they move because that's the top level. So you learn a lot from it, especially when keeping the ball.
That will do, Sir Lance. By the way, I like the stuff on your background. They're great. Very cool.
They're my brothers. Love collecting them.
Okay.
Cute.
Thank you, Lance.
Alright, thank you, Sir Aaron. Siguro babalik lang ako dun regarding sa training regimen mo. I know that you have your one-on-one sessions with Coach Darren, but were there any, let's say, drills or anything that the coaching staff of the advanced development team gave to you so that you can work it out with Coach Darren, or was it just plainly the program that you and Coach Darren follow?
When the lockdown started, they already gave me the drills that they want us to do with all the players. And I do them every time. My rest day is with Coach Ryan because we do it every other day. So when it's my rest day, I'm doing the drills that my team gave me.
I see. Well, that's great to hear that, even we're in a situation wherein you cannot do face-to-face training as of the moment, meron naman binigay si ADT sa inyo to help you out with your preparation in the upcoming league. Now, we're just gonna focus more on a bigger platform out here, outside of the Philippines Football League. Of course, now that you are with the advanced development team, it opens up a bigger opportunity for you to play for the national team. And this generation that you have, the generation of the Gayosos, the Ocampos, and everyone else in the ADT camp, this is something that we're looking forward to seeing. What do you see in the future of, or what do you see in the future ASCALs, and what makes your ASCALs different from your predecessors?
Um, I think the biggest difference is probably the support because football now is getting a lot of support from all different kinds of people. Just like the sponsorship for Philippine football, which is really big for us. But what I hope that this generation can get is the same support that the people gave when people like Ed Sacapano used to play. Because I remember watching Jascos play in the Rizal, and Rizal was full, which is you rarely see it nowadays. So I hope we can get the same support as before.
Yeah, and I hope that we get to be part of that as well once once you suit up for the Philippines. Another thing is that youth football or grassroots football are getting more and more support from different or various organizations, and with the help of the advanced development team, which serves possibly as a gateway for younger generations to play in the national team. How do you think does the ADT help players like you in terms of your quest for a better football career? Is it something that you use as a stepping stone for a bigger career outside of the country, or is it just something that you use as a stepping stone towards your journey for the national team?
ADT is a really good option because not only they help us experience the professional environment, they also help us play against professional teams, which is something you have to get used to if you want to play in the top level. And it's not just only for me; it's for all the young players because I remember having a lot of tryouts for the ADT because they really give you an opportunity to try out for the ADT, and that is something that all the young players should be looking forward to.
All right. And also amongst your team, it's not only you, Harvey, or Berlongan, or anyone else who I think who played in the Southeast Asian Games. There are also field foreign players, with the likes of Kinoa Bailey, and there are many players. And do you think with the influx of the foreign-based players and with the introduction of the ADT, do you think it makes the process of the senior team selection harder than what it used to be like 2 or 3 years before the creation of the ADT?
Yeah, definitely it got harder, but it was never easy. It's always been tough, and I guess for me that's what makes it exciting, because the harder it is, if you get in, you know that you did something great and you know you've achieved something. So for me, it's a good thing and it's very exciting.
All right, that's really great to hear, and we really hope that we see you anytime soon to suit up with the national team as well. Thanks to the help of the advanced development team. Siguro, just out of curiosity, because again, ADT opens up a huge opportunity for players like you and everyone else na homegrown. We've seen the likes of Marco Casambre play overseas, Patrick Dato. If given a chance, which one would you choose? Would you rather play for a title contender team here in the Philippines Football League, or would you rather see yourself playing in another team in the ASEAN region, or possibly a mid-table team in the ASEAN region?
At the moment, I would love to play in ASEAN football leagues because right now PFL has only maybe 8 clubs only. So maybe in the future, if we have 12 clubs or 13 clubs, I would love to play in here in the Philippines. But at the moment, since there's only 7 clubs or maybe 8, I would love to play maybe Thailand because they have a lot of players, a lot of teams, and I usually learn a lot of stuff from the players I play against because for me, it's not only in training, also in games, and the people you play against usually know how to play against you, and that's how you learn stuff
All
from
right.
football.
All right, that's really great to hear, and that's one of the thoughts that we do have here in the team as well. Because the last time we had Harvey in the team, we were talking about is it too late for Harvey to play professionally? But in your case, I think it was just the right timing, considering that ADT came in. But with the opportunity being given as well by our ASEAN neighbors, I think it's something that pwede mong i-take advantage if in any case that someone calls you up, because let's be honest, I mean, we're not lambasting the league itself. We do have quality players out here, but to be honest, it's never gonna be enough. Not until, yun nga, sabi mo, we reach the time that we have 12, 13, 14 clubs, or more than 8 clubs right now that we have in the Philippines Football League. So we really hope as well that, it opens a window of opportunity for you. Siguro, I just want to talk about yung experience mo with playing with ADT. Before the lockdown, you were able to play with the ASCALs or the Advanced Development Team in a friendship game against Philippine Army, the one who gave you possibly the idea of playing football. How's the feeling playing against Philippine Army? And I think you scored a goal out there and made a couple of assists. How was the feeling during that game?
It was very it was very nostalgic because the people who were guarding me from the first half until the second half, they're all my coaches from before. So while I was playing, they were also talking to me and trying to annoy me. They're trying to kick me. But at the end of the game, at the end of the day, it's just a game. So it was really fun. Had a lot of fun and more experience for me.
Mhm. And when I watched that game, actually we've covered that match, and I during the halftime talk, I approached your team talk, and I tried to listen in, and I heard Coach Scott Cooper giving you, Lance, of all the players out there in the squad, you've got most of the praise, or the praise in the first half, considering that you got the team got their first goal at the very first minute of the match. You were able to get high praises from Coach Scott Cooper. How's the feeling of getting such messages from a top caliber coach who not only coaches the ASIOS development team but is also part of the national squad? And why do you think he gave you those inspiring words after that fantastic performance in the first half?
Not only that he said that because I did a great job, it also gives me confidence for the second half. And I think for some people, like for me, I guess, when coaches give you advices or tells you something like that sounds good, it gives me a lot of confidence. And for some reason, I just feel like I have more energy with me. So I usually love having compliments like that.
Alright. Ang sarap kasing pakinggan ng mga ganong words na Lance did a great job. Fantastic job, Lance. Those are the things that I heard from Coach Cooper in that after or that first half, because I mean, let's be honest. We saw how difficult to play in that pitch. It's not really a competition fit pitch. However, it's something that you can play in. It's an added challenge for the players. But given the fact that Lance used to, let's say, bulldoze that right side of the pitch and was able to get the first goal in or yeah, actually the first goal, if I'm not mistaken, in that game, then it says a lot in the talent that this kid has. Siguro on a more personal note, sino yung biggest football idol mo?
Probably biggest football idol is Messi. But if you want to ask me who my favorite player is, probably my coach, Mark Hartman, because I've seen him play in person. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Mark is really an amazing player as well, and no doubt why you're seeing Lance right now, because not if without the foundation that you had with the Hartmans, I don't think we would be seeing you out here. Kasi they 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 tend to push players. They tend to push you, the entire squad, to be the better player that they are, and fast forward to 2020, you're getting ready to play in the Philippines Football League. Although we already know that you've played in the league with Global FC before, but this is a bigger one because not only you'll be playing in a league that gives opportunity to huge players, but also you're gonna be under the microscope for the upcoming generation of the Philippine Ascals. So kudos to you for doing a great job for that. Siguro, last couple of questions that I have for you, Lance, is that how would you like to be recognized by the younger generations, the one below you, let's say the one playing in the U7s, the U9s, the U11s right now? How would you like them to recognize you once they see you suit up for the national team?
I want them to recognize me as someone who worked really hard to achieve his dreams and someone who was really patient because believe it or not, I used to play. I used to always be put in the team B of the team's youth level before I joined GOM. Um, I mean in GOM we call it second team, but in this here in the Philippines we mostly call it team B. And
Mhm.
I believe the last 2 days before I joined GOM, I was in the second team of the youth team.
Mhm.
And I've also tried out with the national team, so I always get caught. But you just have to be patient. You'll get your chance to prove yourself. And yeah, I want to be recognized as someone who was really patient and who worked really hard.
All right. And lastly, Lance, what's your ultimate goal as a football player?
My ultimate goal is probably to play at the highest possible level of football. But for now, my goal is to be part of the Ascals and to play alongside one of my coaches, which is Coach.
All right. Well, that's really great to hear from a very young prospect named Lance Ocampo. Aaron, yes, go ahead, sir.
Yes, just a quick question lang kay Boss Lance. Because you mentioned talagang you have high regard for coaches. Do you see yourself coaching in siguro when the time comes that you'll hang up your jersey, you'll be able to coach a team or hopefully awa ng Diyos mag-coach ng national team natin?
In GOM, before when we used to have our first team, second team, and then the U15, sometimes Coach Dan allows us to train the younger group. So that's a really good experience for us because we get to experience the feeling of being the coach. So yeah, maybe in the future when I retire, hopefully I can coach also other clubs.
Mm,
All right. Thank you so much, Aaron. And Ken, ikaw, go ahead. May pahabol ka pa.
ah, Ito Lance, ito isa sa mga pinakamalapit na tournament. Do you also target to be nasa goal mo na rin ba, nasa sight mo na rin ba yung pagiging part ng under 22 team for next year's SEA Games if ever na matuloy?
I'm looking forward to it. I would definitely try to be in that squad, and I will work hard to be called up in that squad. Yeah.
Yun, nice to know that. Patagdag na rin, teams in ng national team nung nakaraang SEA Games. Maybe you were watching it on TV or in attendance. Kumbaga, nung nakita mo yung parang revival ng passion for Philippine football dun. Parang na-inspire, nakadagdag ba yun sa inspiration mo to pursue what you're currently doing right now?
Yeah, definitely because for me, pag nakikita ko maglaro yung Ascals, is something that I look forward to because I dream of playing with like alongside players with Schrock, Electric. So when I see them play, I really get passionate about it. Like I really get motivated. So yeah.
Yun, thank you and good luck.
All right. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for those wonderful questions. And of course, Lance, for those amazing answers that you had. Your teammates were actually watching you, Carl Emery, Enzo Lim, a lot of, I think, to mga players din to ng GM na kasama mo. And sila naglolokohan din sila sa ating comment section. Your message to your friends, family members, and everyone else who wants to see Lance Ocampo in the future here in the Philippines Football League, brought to you by Qatar Airways.
I just hope that I get to play alongside them in the future, and not only as teammates, but I hope to play against them also as a teammate. So yeah, I hope to see you there sometime
All
in the
right.
future.
All right. Thank you so much, Lance, for giving us the opportunity to have this episode with you. And I'm really happy to again talk to a young prospect that we do have here in the Philippines. I just hope that many more players will come in and hopefully in our next coming episodes we get to talk to your other teammates as well who might be playing in the Philippines Football League or whatever it is. So again, Lance, it's been a great pleasure for everyone out here in the hashtag Eat Sleep Breathe football team. Do you have anyone else na gusto may shout out?
Um, my Coach Darren. I just want to thank him for all the support and all the hard work and the stress because I'm pretty sure I made him stress most of the time. So thank you for being patient with me. And yeah,
All right, thank you so much. That was Lance Ocampo of the Advanced Development Team,
thank
GOM
you everyone.
Football Center of Excellence. Thank you so much, and we hope to see you soon.
Hope to see you soon. Thank you everyone.
All right, thank you. Now, gentlemen, that was a real amazing interview that we had with Lance. I um, I'm lost for words. Actually, I'm lost for words that we were able to talk to a player like him. And we do hope that in the future we get to speak with him as well sa upcoming Philippines Football League. Ikaw, Sir Aaron, your thoughts about the guy?
Actually, hindi pa si Sir Lance.
Yeah.
Looking forward to cover Sir Lance. Of course, syempre, I don't think mapapanood namin siya live mismo because of the restrictions brought by the pandemic. But from a national team standpoint or nationalism, we hope that he will continue to excel and our coaches can have a look and have a try na mapasama si Sir Lance di lang sa ating under 22 team but eventually pagdating na rin sa ating senior national team sa mga elite competitions na sasalihan ng ating Philippine men's national football.
Sayang lang, no? We weren't able to have our two more panelists, Glenn and David. I'm pretty sure they have something to ask the guy as well. Ikaw, Ken, that was a great question regarding his possible involvement sa darating na Southeast Asian Games. Siguro, I know that you've seen this guy play in the YFL. I've seen him play with the ADP, and also I used to cover him in the PFL. What do you think about the future of Lance? I think other than Harvey, he's another one that we're gonna look into.
Ang nakakabilib with Lance Ocampo is yung level of drive and ambition niya towards having a very successful career in professional football. Yan yung gusto nating makita sa mga local players natin eh. Yung drive, yung ambition talaga na maging to be the best football player that they can be. Kahit na bata pa lang sila. Lance Ocampo, hands down, very exciting prospect. And considering yung age niya, mag-i-improve pa yan over time. And masasabi lang natin isa siya sa mga patunay na there's really a lot of potential sa ating youth system. We just need to to unearth these diamonds in the rough, to train them, to equip them with the correct mentality, football IQ, develop them using very good training methods and everything. And I hope na more Filipinos will see him in the future as one of our homegrown staples sa national team. And best of luck, and sana looking forward to him getting a spot in the SEA Games roster next year.
Okay, yan din yung pinaka-hinihintay ko kasi with the crop of the players that we have right now, if you mention names like Gayoso, Ocampo, Suba, you have other players like Borlongan, you have you still have Marzan, a lot of players who played in the 2019 SEA Games. They're already playing for their respective clubs before they played in the SEA Games, and they not only did they play with their clubs, they also had a fair share of their competitions. Siguro with the national team on an age group level, let's say the under 16, the under 22s, the 23s, their siguro yung matatawag natin their tune-up tournament before they head into the SEA Games, which siguro medyo masakit panoorin yung mga games na yon because we're getting kind of walloped in those games. However, it all goes to show that the federation, let alone the entire management of the Philippine national team, are heading into a better direction. Kasi if you were used to seeing these players getting walloped like 4-0, 5-0, 6-0 by our neighbors Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, or whatever it is, di ba? You should get used to as well the feeling that we will bombard their team as well in the near future. Kasi if you remember guys, there were games of the under 22 squad, the under 16 squads wherein, let's be honest, it's really not a great uh, result for the Philippines. And part of it siguro na-contribute na ron sa results na yun is the fact that they lack the proper preparation for the tournament, 'di ba? Parang you only get to train 2 weeks, 3 weeks before the competition, wherein the other teams they're training with their teammates for like 2, 3 years, 5 years. Vietnam, they've been playing for 7 years. The squad that won the Win 2000, the Suzuki Cup last time, they've been together for like 7 years. These boys have been together since the time that they've started training for the AFC Under 23 Championships. They finished second in that tournament, and then the core of that team played in the Suzuki Cup and also followed through in the AFC Asian Cup. So the key there was the preparation that they had, the program that they had, and slowly but surely, the Philippines are following suit with the creation of the advanced development team. Ken, siguro anong masasabi mo, or how do you see the chances of our age group teams in the coming competitions thanks to the help of the ADT and the other coaches that we do have in the youth level?
Um, Nakikita naman natin yung progress sa youth programs natin over the years. For me, since following it since 2018, nakikita ko little by little yung gains so there are many more kids playing football. There mas maraming na outsource na talent from the provinces to play competitive youth football games. And yung kung tutuusin, mas nag-i-improve na ng kaunti yung preparation time ng mga youth teams natin. The last time yata, isang buwan umaabot na ng isang buwan yung mga training camps nila And example natin with the under 22 team sa SEA Games, umabot sila ng 3 months. 3 months na yung naging full 3 months na yung naging preparation nila. Ano na talaga yan preparation is key, and as well as yung proper coaching. As long as nakikita yung mga players sa motivation talaga niyan to play for the flag, whatever age group that is. We just need to improve the level of coaching, the level of training, and most importantly, bigyan sila ng adequate preparation. I can see a lot of improvements by this time, pero pag nagtuloy-tuloy yan, maybe in 5 to 10 years, will have more improvement on these results. And malay natin, we can get a SEA Games medal, or we can have a podium finish already in a AFF youth competition. The potential is there. Kailangan lang matap ng maayos.
Thank you so much for that wonderful thought, Aaron. Kent. Aaron, ikaw. Siguro masasabi ko si Aaron is someone na namulat into the latest version ng ating national team and our youth teams. Anong masasabi mo with the creation of the ADT, with the involvement of the players like Lance, Harvey, Suba, and everyone else? How do you see the future of Philippine football? Not only the ASCALs, but also the age groups that we have. Kasi sabi nga natin, there were results that really are not favorable for the Philippines. Like, it's crazy to see a scoreline like 6-0, 10-0 against our youth teams. But given the fact that we have this kind of program, and I think it will overflow to the younger ones, ano masasabi mo with the future of our national squads?
I think credit goes to kumbaga to the men and women in forming this development team ng ating pambansang koponan. Of course, our NSA sa football ang PFF, through the management then in Mr. Dan Palami and everyone involved sa ASCAL's development team. It's going to be an interesting future and a optimistic future given that magkakaroon na ng parang glimpse yung mga youngsters, yung mga pamangkikers natin. Kung yun ang tamang term sa mga ano.
Ganda ng gamit mo dun.
Na ganito pala ang feeling kapag top-notch competition. Ganito pala kapag yung pressures kicking in for you to execute the plays, the proper sequencing or yung scoring goals, defending, this and that. And of course, syempre, yung ma-develop din, gaya nga nung lagi naming kumbaga na commentary namin sa PBS, yung nationalism of the essence of playing for your flag and country. I'm sure of some of them will deserve na mapabilang sa mga top-notch clubs, kundi man sa Philippines Football League, kundi sa ibang ASEAN level clubs or even hopefully sa mga big clubs sa Europe. But ma-build din yung essence nila of how special it is to play for flag and country.
All right. Thank you so much, Aaron. Now, siguro final thoughts. ADT, playing in the Philippines Football League, brought to you by Qatar Airways. Nangingilabot pa rin ako every time na sinasabi ko yan. I mean, I need to get used to it, pero nangingilabot pa rin ako kapag sinasabi ko yan. Again, the Advanced Development Team, as they call it, to play in the PFL. Now, we know that kahit mag-champion sila in this season, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't play in Asia because of the restrictions itself. Kasi itong team na to, it's kind of similar para sa mga pamangkikers natin na nanonood. The ASCAL's development team or the advanced development team can be compared with the Lions 12 or the Harimau Muda squad of Singapore and Malaysia. These are their development teams that they infuse into their leagues. With Lions 12 in the S League or the Singapore Premier League, and then with the Harimau Muda in the Malaysian League. So most likely they won't get the chance to play, but you know, they can aim for they can literally aim for the championship. Your expectations and hopes for the ADT. Let's start off with Ken.
Actually, it's a big expectation for me, pero I really hope that they somewhat end up like Lions 12. Lions 12, eto partida, they competed in a more competitive Malaysian Super League and they won the crown over powerhouse clubs like Johor,
JDT,
Selangor and
Selangor,
Pahang.
Mm.
So grabe yung, and ang makikinabang naman kasi dito is yung national team talaga, because you have a young and passionate group of players who have formed an incredible amount of cohesion and teamwork with each other. Kumbaga, ano na yun, pwede mo nang iano yung tactics dyan ng national team. Pwede mo nang ipasok and you just kapag international break, you can just add a little more the usual veterans for experience, for composure. And mataas yung, siguro hindi magiging ganun muna yung yung expectation for ADT for the meantime, kasi syempre it will be their first season. Magkakapaan pa yan. And magkaroon ng adjustments syempre because of Scott Cooper's tactics. Aalamin pa niya yung ideal lineup, yung ideal tactics and adjustments. Pero as time goes by, I hope na maging institutionalized na tong program na to, because it will help not only our national team pero pati yung under 22 team. baga, ito yung magiging parang entry point ng mga young prospects natin, then we can help them secure deals for to play overseas. The possibilities are endless, and a successful development team will really be vital for us to have a healthy pool, a competitive pool of players for our national team and for our under 22 team. And I wish the management of ADT and all the players success in this upcoming season, kahit anong maging position nila sa table, as long as they pull it off and have fun and know that they're part of a big plan for Philippine football.
Yun. Thank you so much, Papi Ken, for that amazing thought and the expectations of the club or of the team. Sir Aaron, how about you?
I agree with Sir Kent that their plans, big plans, to big plans ng Philippine football. Pero going back dito, Jay, sa question mo, yung at least expectation ko for the development team, bagamat hindi kasi ako ganun ka-familiar sa Singapore Premier League and sa Malaysia League, but I do hope that they can showcase yung kanilang grit and heart in competing against the big teams like United City, Stallions, Kaya, Mendiola. I do expect that they'll end up within the top 4, maybe top 3. Kudos to them if they're gonna win the title, really. But siguro expectation / prediction, they might end up in the top 3.
Alright. Thank you so much, Aaron. And siguro sa akin naman, AVP is no stranger in the Philippines Football League scene. They had the chance to participate in the Copa Paulino Alcantara. Sabihin man natin na it's the Philippines under 22, but we get it. It's almost the same team. Virtually the same team. Who played in the Copa Paulino Alcantara, the SEA Games, and now the newly found advanced development team. So they're no strangers in playing against United City FC, formerly known as Ceres Negros FC, Kaya FC Iloilo. They played against Mendiola FC, which gave them a very testy match in the final match of the group stages of the Copa. So yeah, I'm really hoping that they put up a fight. They put up a great fight against the top 3 teams or top 4 teams of the Philippines Football League, and maybe this is the equalizer that we are looking for, because we were used to a two-way battle between 2 Visayas-based clubs, one of which now is moving over to we don't know where. But with United City FC retaining the core of Ceres Negros FC, and with Kaya FC Iloilo trying to get even better than what they were last season. I'm pretty sure they have hunger in themselves, because they haven't won a single silverware last year. They made it to the AFC Cup, but that's thanks to the help of Ceres Negros FC winning the cup double. So with the ADT joining in the Philippines Football League, it will give a real test to these 2 clubs. Ito pinag-uusapan din natin to before, na if ADT comes in and they have a great performance against these clubs, ito na yung hinahanap natin na possible na babasag sa tradition ng 1-2 dito sa atin, 'di ba? Parang ito na yung hinihintay natin na okay, sawa na kasi tayo sa ganyan na only 2 teams excel. But credit as well to Stallion. They've been trying to get there. They've been trying to get there. It's just that there's still something missing. There's still a missing formula out there. So but don't count them out. Yun lang, don't count them out. They're still
Don't count them out.
They're still gonna be considered as rivals for the other teams as
And siguro
well.
magiging vital yung magiging holdover ng players eh.
Ah.
Baga dito lahat ng magiging players ng ADT ngayon medyo bata pa eh. Ang naging vital sa success ng Lions 12 sa Malaysian Super League is some of their players eventually became veterans on the team itself. Naging doon sila nahubog, tas pinasok yung mga ibang players, then they actually built a winning culture there. And yun ang gusto kong makita sana with the ADT, na siguro may mga iba dyan na will look for better opportunities, pero magkaroon sana ng yung young core na yung iba dyan mag-step up as veterans, and to be able to guide the next generation ng magiging part ng
Yan. And siguro one last thing, I want us to change our mindset already with our youth teams or our age group teams. Before we're just hoping to qualify for the AFF regional championships, or we just want to qualify for the AFF youth championships, the age groups championships. But with the introduction of the ADT, I hope, I dearly hope that we do change our mindset that the AFF is not good enough for us, let alone the AFC. We might want to aim for an Olympic qualifying slot. I mean, the Olympic qualifiers is something na pwede nating pasukin. I mean, AFC is huge. Yes, AFC is huge. We've seen how Vietnam prepared for it for 7 years or 7 or 8 years. A continuous process that led them to placing second in the AFC under 23, winning the AFF Suzuki Cup with the core of that players, and making it to the knockout stages of the AFC Asian Cup. Hindi naman siguro masama that we emulate those dreams and have a better dream of probably making it to the Asian Games, and at the same time the Olympics. Si Ken magre-react to. Nagre-react to,
Games.
'di ba? Asian Games. But better yet, let's aim for the sky kasi mangangarap ka na lang din maliit pa. The ADT is not just a program for the senior team. It's not just a program for a pool of players for the ASCALs. This will overflow to our age groups teams. Keep in mind that right now, Scott Cooper is the acting technical director for the Philippine Football Federation. So he has a huge impact on how things are gonna pan out in regards to the program of the national squad, the age group squad. This is one thing that he is using his expertise in. So I just hope with the introduction of the ADT, the other age groups will follow suit, and I hope this will bring a bigger, tougher, and more enjoyable competition in the next coming years in the Philippines Football League and the other age groups that we do have. Wow, grabe. From interviewing Lance to talking about ADT, that's episode 15 for you guys. Ken, who do you want to shout out before we end the show?
Shout out pala sa syempre sa Loyola Football Club, Coach Roxy, Miss Reese, all the coaches, parents and players. Babalik tayo soon, Viva Loyola. As well as dun sa mga kasamahan natin sa Huddle PH, sa management and league, especially to Commissioner Coco Torre. We're looking forward to the comeback of the Philippines Football League talaga ngayong December. Frente boys, ingat kayo palagi, and as well as MNL 48. So,
Ay, nako!
Aubrey Binoya. Ingat ka lagi.
Wow, wowie! Next, Sir Aaron, your shout outs and greetings.
Yes, thank you, Tito J. And of course, thank you very much po sa lahat ng nakikinig. Please continue to support Philippine sports and also Philippine football. Masaya po ang laro ng football. And sa mga nakikinig po sa amin sa RP2, we're currently off the air, parehong online sa radio and online tayo nga po due to ongoing disinfectation, and we're currently on quarantine. So, pinaka-importante po sa lahat yung pagsunod natin sa mga health standard protocols, at tatalunin natin ang COVID-19. Let's be safe, everybody, and God bless everyone. Today, thank you po.
All right, thank you, Aaron and Ken. Now, in behalf of the entire hashtag Eat Sleep Breed Football Gang, this is your Tito J, ang Tito Mong Football Vlogger. We would like to thank you all for watching this stream. I never expected that we would have so many viewers for today, but thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you learned something from this show. You've learned something from Lance and our discussion about the ADT. Yun nga, sabi ni Sir Aaron, matatalo natin ng COVID-19. Just stay safe. Hindi ko na pwedeng sabihin stay at home kasi kahit ako lumalabas ako just for the sake of, finding, jobs and all. But let's just stay safe. Triplehin natin ang ating pag-iingat against this virus. Shoutouts nga pala sa mga nanood sa atin. Carl Emery, kung di ako nagkakamali, Carl plays with Stallion. Carl Emery. Yeah, I think he plays with Stallion Laguna FC. Correct me if I'm wrong. Carl, thank you. Shout out to you. Alexis San Juan, Dance Serrano, Charlie Harold, Alerion Fuerte, avid fan natin to. Mark John Mirandilla, FCC pa, Lance Ocampo, Jethro, Chabon Borlongan, who else? Enzo Lim. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and again, thank you. We hope that you join us as well again this Saturday, our fan engagement podcast. Let's say our virtual ranting part 2. No? Kasi medyo bitin yung part 1 last Monday. Bitin din today kasi we have to cut things short just to make sure that we accommodate our guests. But we will have fan engagement virtual ranting part 2, and I hope that you join us on that virtual ranting. Marami pa tayong pag-uusapan. Ito na. We're slowly building up to the league. We're slowly building up to the Philippines Football League, and expect to see more players, expect to see coaches as well in the future who will join our podcast. So, again, in behalf of everyone in the hashtag Eat Sleep Breathe Football Family Gang, we would like to thank you all for watching. We would also like to congratulate our dear friend Saya Haruda of Sayagraphics for winning a tremendous battle that you have. We've heard the great news that they've already paid your wages. If not for your bravery, we wouldn't know the real situation of the club. So, and we will basically update you as well in the near future if we have any more developing stories about it. So, yun lang. Maraming salamat. Again, stay safe mga pamanggigers. We will see each other soon. Ingat muna tayo. Gaya nga na lagi ko sinasabi, kita tayo sa pitch. And take care. See you soon, guys. Maraming salamat.